Do you know what he asked me? It's like, do you love me?
It is like a 15-year-old boy.
15-year
So
old boy. And it was like what is wrong with this? What is wrong with this kid?
all right, so today I'm here in my house here in Japan with my friend Larry.
My God, thank you for having me here. I'm just pleasure to be in your house right now.
Yeah, no problem. So we've been friends for I don't know, at least a few years now.
Yeah, a few years now. I think it was. We just went to McDonald's today, so I think that's where we met a few years ago.
Actually, that was I was trying to start a coding meetup back then. And that was when I first got a job as a software engineer when I changed my career from English teacher to software engineer.
Hmm.
And you were at my first coding meetup, I think that was trying to start back then.
Yeah, I really wanted to get into coding, but I guess time restraints and all of this. Maybe I took a break from it a little bit, so maybe I'm not sure when I would do it again. But nowadays I'm not sure. Do we need coding, or is it gonna be taken over by AI? I'm not sure, but it looks interesting what you're doing. So I'm just glad that we met over these many years.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole AI coding thing, it's a debatable topic, but all I can say is that I'm I'm doing well for myself, and my job is to make websites, and AI is not taking my job, at least for now. I'm okay.
Yeah, I think you of many of the foreigners I met have this kind of like this positive mindset that you're gonna push yourself to make more money and try to sustain your life and try to build some wealth here. So I'm just really proud of you. I have to say from the bottom of my heart.
Thanks, man. Let's see. What do we have on the agenda today? We were going to talk about ALT salary because we both used to be ALTs, which, if you're not familiar with it, it's assistant language teacher here in Japan.
But correction, sorry, but I'm still ALT right now.
Oh, you're
So
still ALT?
yes.
Okay.
So right now I'm before we were like public in the public sector, but now I'm in the private sector working with like kids that are like underprivileged.
Mm.
It's like a private high school. Sorry, I can't go into detail for like personal private reasons, but I can say that I'm working as an ALT for like more underprivileged students. Maybe because like I think the economy is going down. I think so. Um, when with that, there are many kids that are underprivileged because of like um, because the money is going down, so there's like more kids are not having the opportunities to be as creative as they want to. So that's why that's why I'm just really glad to have this job as an ALT at this private sector private school.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Private school. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I knew that you were in a private school. I just didn't know it was still the AOT position. So, are you actually an assistant language teacher, or do they have you teaching classes by yourself?
It it's still like ALT because with ALTs we don't have the teacher's license, so I wouldn't be able to do teaching by myself. So I have to be with actually an English teacher. So with AOT work, this the teacher has to have another main teacher. Otherwise, it would be considered illegal.
Ah, yes, that's a good point. Although there are definitely situations where they're not following the rules. Because I know when I was in ALT, I don't want to name like which city I was in at that time. I've moved around a lot, but I can just say there's definitely been some times where I taught English classes only by myself, no Japanese adult in the classroom. It didn't happen a whole lot, but there were times where it did happen, and I don't have a problem with it. This is the first time I'm telling anybody about it, really, but yeah, some things like that happen.
Oh my god! And then we're all talking about how Japanese people should, how everyone in Japan should follow the rules, but apparently, Japanese people can be big rule breakers as well, right?
Yeah, anyone. It doesn't matter if they're American or Canadian or Japanese. There are definitely people that break the rules and even the laws. But anyway, So, on the topic of ALT, we wanted to discuss the salary and kind of like how that works with the cost of living here in Japan.
Oh, definitely. We had some really crazy experiences with like some low pay and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, should should I incriminate myself on video about what I had to do to survive in my first year in Japan?
Yeah, why don't we give it a try?
Um, yeah, so my first year in Japan, um, it was it was difficult. I'm not gonna lie. The salary was way lower than what I was used to living on back in the U.S. And uh, the second year actually gets even harder because the first year you don't have to pay certain taxes because it the taxes that you pay are based on the previous year in Japan. So if your previous year you weren't in Japan, that means everything is zero. So it starts out hard in the first year, and then the second year it gets even harder. But I almost dropped out of Japan in my first year. I didn't have enough money, and I ended up working some side jobs to get enough money to sustain myself. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to survive on the ALT salary.
Yeah, I think for me it's the same. But when I was ALT for first year, I was also very naive. So I had to take. I all I thought about was like when I went to Japan, I was wanting to get to an opportunity of going to Japan. Like many naive people, like would you consider yourself naive during your first year as an ALT?
Yeah, a lot of people call it the honeymoon phase. Like you just you're amazed at life in Japan and everything seems amazing and you tend to kind of ignore some of the issues that are happening.
Yeah, with me, like I think many these ALT companies, we're gonna go into more detail like with direct hire and dispatch. So my dispatch company is actually uh bankrupt now.
What which company was that?
It's called NPO Glad.
Huh. I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, so well, it's bankrupt now. So when during time I when I was doing the NPO Glad, like uh I'm not sure if you know, but then they didn't pay on time.
No.
So they didn't pay on time, so sometimes we have to wait weeks and days for the salary.
Wow.
Yeah, but thankfully I joined the general union of Osaka, and so they were able to get some money back, and also I think there were some legal issues too. That was why the general union helped me get back a lot of money. So I
Mm.
was able to actually move during the second year. I was able to move to Wakayama.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty crazy. I thought that I was working for a company, a dispatch company called Interac, and I thought they were pretty bad, but at least they paid me on time every month.
So should we discuss like the salary, like, around the how much salary it is?
Yeah, definitely. From what I so the thing, at least my experience with Interac, they made it kind of difficult for you to understand exactly how much you were getting uh, because certain months out of the year are prorated. So what that means is like spring break, summer break, and winter break. You don't have to go to school for a long time, especially summer. You have like a whole month off of work that you don't have to go to school, but then you don't get your full salary for those months.
Mm-hmm.
So for summer, basically you get half your salary, even though you don't have to go to work. But the way they did it when I was working there is they like prorated every month, so they kind of like averaged that out, and and then they've got like a car lease on top of that if you're in a driving position. So there's all these extra expenses coming out, health insurance, and it's hard to really calculate exactly how much you're getting. But if you want to do it in Japanese yen, I want to say it was like, I don't know. I mean, they told me when I first got the job that I was supposed to be getting something like what, 240,000 to 260,000 Japanese yen every month.
But you don't tell the part that it's before all the deductions are taken out, right? So.
Yeah. So if you think about that, like if you're only getting half of that for certain months, that's not enough money to survive. I mean, the full amount is barely enough for, at least for me, it was barely enough for me to survive. Maybe some people that are eating like instant noodles every day and are perfectly fine with that, and they don't really go out and spend money, maybe, and they're better with budgeting, maybe they don't have any issues. I've definitely met people that claimed to not have any issues surviving financially, but the majority of the people that I've met are constantly complaining about the salary versus the cost of living.
Yeah, I do feel like many of the people that come here, and no offense to you, I'm not sure because I've watched many like finance YouTube videos about people not budgeting and all stuff. I do feel like some people that if they're gonna complain in USA about the economy, they're also to complain about the financial situation here. So I think that some of it is like a personal issue as well. But
Yeah.
I'm not doubting that the Japanese economy is going down because of less children.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is definitely uh, like I'm definitely partially to blame for the reason why I've struggled financially. I didn't budget like I should, but it was just from habit because I had plenty of money to survive back in the U.S. I wasn't complaining about the economy or anything back in the U.S. Of course, that was, I mean, I've been in Japan for 10 years now, so it's very different from what people are experiencing now in the U.S. and probably all over the world.
Yeah. So what kind of advice would you give people who wants to come here? Um, like what kind of money advice would you give young people who want to move to Japan? Well, we're still young. We're like I'm actually 31. You.
Well, for fresh people coming, like new people coming to Japan, it's their first time moving to Japan. Maybe they're like fresh out of college or something. Um, I would just say you have to budget your expenses, like get a spreadsheet or something, and figure out exactly how much is going to be in your bank account, and you have to look ahead and you have to plan ahead for unexpected things. Like one thing that I didn't plan for was the residence tax. So it's like I barely made it through my first year, and then at the end of that year suddenly there's like a 800 or $1,000 residence tax suddenly that is dropped on me, and I had no way to pay it. Like I had to get on a payment plan with the local government, and I was paying that off for the next like 6 months or something like that. So yeah, budgeting is very important. Like I said, like a spreadsheet or something. Do whatever you have to do to really understand how much is coming in and how much is going out.
There's another thing like in America, like we're gonna talk of America a lot because like I think many people who are teaching English here, like they're coming from the first world countries. Like,
Yeah.
well, it was very popular for first world countries from America, Canada, UK to come here. So I think I heard in America there's something called the 401k.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it's a tax-free savings. But what that essentially is like a brokerage account where you can buy stocks and stuff like that. I think. What do you think? I think some people can do a little bit of that in Japan. It's something called the NISA account.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm pretty sure many people may think that oh, Japanese is low salary, but maybe you can give it a try. Like maybe add a little bit of money just to and just buy a little bit of like long term stocks. Not those meme stocks like those ones that go fluctuate and down. I'm talking about like index funds. I'm not sure if you know what that is.
Yeah, not for the Japanese market specifically. I really don't know anything about investing in the Japanese market, but yeah, it could be something worth looking into. Especially if you're gonna be in Japan long term. That's another thing. Like, like what are you gonna do in Japan? Are you gonna stay here and work for 1 to 3 years and then go back, or are you gonna stay here like forever and try to retire here, or like kind of mid-term, like kind of long-term, 10 to 15 years? All of that is gonna determine like what kind of financial activities you're gonna be doing.
Yeah. So you said that your salary, monthly salary was around 25,000. Like,
Yeah, I think it was
sorry, not the 25,000. My math is here.
250,000
250,000 yen.
250,000 Japanese yen, roughly. And then, I mean, I changed jobs. So I eventually became the head teacher of a new language school startup. And at that time, I was making, that was my highest English teacher salary. That was like, including the benefits, I think it was like 300,000 maybe, including like stipends and all that. Like total comp was 300,000 Japanese yen a month, and that felt pretty good as an English teacher. That's up on the higher end, definitely, but if you put that into US dollars right now, it looks pretty abysmal.
Yeah. It's diabolical. I've said diabolical.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was the same. Like when I was dispatch worker, it's like to, I did. I was on and off actually, dispatch and then direct dispatch. We're gonna get into it more detail. So 250,000, like it was killing me, but not in the first year, as you said, because like the residence tax was not taken out. So,
Yeah.
but it was still abysmal. So many people, like many foreigners in the honeymoon phase, they were like nonstop traveling. I was in Okayama, so they're nonstop traveling. So for me, I'm more of a, I think that many people are like different types of like people, right? So I'm also like the saving too much type. So I was able to save a little bit of money, and also with the help of the union, I was able to build like a foundational life in Japan. So yeah, so that's what I'm like really proud of.
That's pretty nice. Yeah, that's, man, good for you. Not everyone can have such a good experience with their financial situation as an English teacher.
So what how should we balance, like how else should we balance our, like, I know because like I'm still in instructor's visa, and with this political climate, we don't know how long we can stay in Japan. I think for you, you're on the spouse visa. So as for you, your situation is more stable. But for me, as an instructor's visa, I'm still like needing to, like, I don't know how long I would be in Japan for. Like,
Yeah, that's something to talk about. The political climate is uncertain for sure, especially for foreigners who are business owners in Japan. It's looking pretty bad. Like I saw a statistic floating around on the internet that like within 3 years, all of the business manager visa foreigners, they're gonna have to provide proof of like what is it, 30 million Japanese yen in capital,
oh yeah.
and that's basically gonna force out like 90% of the foreign owned businesses in Japan. Either they're gonna have to close down and get out of the country, or they're gonna have to like partner with some kind of like financial firm that's Japanese that can provide them that capital.
Yeah, I think so. Like, for example, when before we came here, we uh passed through like the Indian restaurant, right?
Yeah,
So that was really delicious.
it
Like
was.
like Indian curry, it's like really delicious. Like it's not as sweet, so it's like healthy herbs, and like it's very filling as well. So those business, maybe they're in trouble. What do you think?
Yeah, like I said, I'm as it is right now, if they don't partner with some kind of like Japanese financial firm or something, uh, 90% of foreign owned businesses in Japan could be gone in 3 years from now.
Well, would Japanese people be happy? Like, how would it affect Japanese people? I know maybe some of them would be actually happy, but
Some of them would be, yeah, especially the Japanese first movement. Those people would probably be pretty happy.
But do people actually think getting rid of foreign businesses will actually like raise Japanese people's wages and like help them have like more children? What do you think?
Uh, I don't know what people are thinking. Um, I think those decisions aren't really based on like helping Japanese people. It's more about just getting rid of foreigners. Like
Yeah, I
there's not really any data or logic behind it. It's just like, okay, well, we have too many foreigners coming over here. We gotta get rid of them. Is basically.
that is basically it. There was a video like, and then this guy was interviewing this girl. And it's like, what do you think of foreigners? Like, I don't. And then the girl's like, I don't think, I don't think the country is ours anymore. And then, the guy's like, why do you think that? Oh, just a feeling. So there's no with these Japanese young people. There's no thought process. There's actually no thought process behind their thinking.
Well, I mean, I can see similar things happening in other countries too, but well, it's funny that they say that like that there's this sentiment that the country isn't theirs anymore because Japan is still like 96% Japanese people. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, we should be saying those kind of things in America. Like America has way more immigrants and even illegal immigrants. So it's kind of crazy to see like Japan is 96% Japanese people claiming that they've lost their country already. That's pretty crazy to me.
I'm pretty sure if you ask Japanese people, um, what does it mean to be Japanese? They wouldn't know how to answer. They wouldn't have this kind of like a full detailed answer what it means to be Japanese to them. And also like immigration problem. Like if you're talking about immigration problem, like yeah, I'm from Vancouver, Canada, and you're from like the Texas Houston area,
Yeah,
right?
Houston,
So
Texas.
we have more immigration problem because Canada is about liberal immigration. So what happens is if you bring so many people from overseas, like Vancouver is already expensive. So if you add all the immigration, all the house prices would rise up, would go up. For me, I couldn't even rent somewhere. That's like the average rent is like $2,000 $3,000. In Japan, is like 300,000 yen per month. So if you say this number, the Japanese like jaw dropping,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, even in the most expensive places like in Tokyo. Well, I mean, I'm sure there are like high-rise apartments in Tokyo that are even more expensive than that, but I mean, once you get a little bit out from the main cities in Japan, it's actually really inexpensive to live here. So that's really nice.
Yeah. So I think it's time that we talked about maybe the two different systems of this of AOT work, like the direct hire and the dispatch.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So the dispatch companies, that's what the large majority of people are here. They're working for a dispatch company, which is basically means there's a middleman between you and the school that you're teaching at. And what that means is that middleman is taking out a large cut out of the payment. And it also means like for decision making processes and communication, there's like a triangle of communication.
Oh
That
yeah.
was really annoying.
That is really annoying. And what's worse, they don't even have the facts right. So one per the we will be telling this, and then the dispatcher will be telling the two different things. So even that, even it's supposed to be facilitate smooth communication, but what you see is like there's not really any smooth communication.
Yeah, that was actually probably the only thing that I hated about being an English teacher or an ALT was dealing with the dispatch company. That, I mean, other than the salary being low, really the biggest and almost only complaint I had was dealing with the dispatch company.
But I have to say that since dispatch company was how I got into Japan in the first place, like we can't really complain too much. And hopefully, I don't in this video I don't want to complain too much
Yeah.
about the dispatch company.
Yeah, they did get us over here, so there is that, and that's what I tell people. I mean, that's like your foot in the door in Japan. It's not a career. It's what you have to do to get over here. Then once you're over here, figure out something else to do.
Yeah. So why do the Board of Education? So Board of Education is like the large entity that deals with all the schools in the area. So why do you think the BOE dispatches the ALT using the dispatch company?
What I was told is like reliability, I guess, and convenience, because it's difficult for a local Japanese government, like town or city government, to go through the recruiting process to find people from overseas and bring them over. And it's also a lot of liability. And yeah, then it's like they hire someone and then maybe that person leaves, then it's like they got to go through that whole process again. So it's just a way for them to outsource all of that hassle of finding a reliable English teacher. And it's like if they're using a dispatch company, let's say like if I'm teaching, if I'm working at a school and I decide, hey, I'm just going to quit tomorrow. If they're using a dispatch company, they can replace me like within days. If they're not using a dispatch company, it's going to be a lengthy process for them to find a new teacher. You know, kids are going to go for potentially months without having any English classes. It's going to be a lot of problems for them.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. And also the BOE is like not wanting to deal with foreigners because maybe they're afraid of us or whatever. But you know, like I'm thinking like the school teachers, some of them are afraid to work with us already, right? So
Yeah.
I'm thinking if the BOE, if they're, um, I think the BOE should set a good example as in like working with foreigners. So um, if the BOE is afraid, it makes the teachers also afraid as well to work with foreigners as well.
Yeah, I could see that.
And so there's dispatch and also there's direct hire. So these are the ones that you get the money directly from the board of education.
Yeah, so funny thing about that, I don't know if I told you this before, but my uh, my second position is an ALT. I stayed there for like 3.5, or no, I guess like 4 years. I think I was working as an ALT, and I got to know some of the people in the BOE, and I actually got a meeting scheduled with them and proposed to them, like, hey, like I've been here for 3.5, 4 years. I want to stay here long term, but financially I can't. And I even showed them my banking statements to show them like how little of the money I was actually getting. And yeah, I tried to get a direct hire, but they said they couldn't. They said they couldn't just create a new position. So it's like, if you're gonna get that direct hire, you have to be in the right place at the right time. Like when they've already planned out with the budget, and then like the next year or two, then they have that open position. Otherwise, it's just impossible.
Oh yeah. So I actually got a direct hire position.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was great for me financially, but it could be better if I knew how to manage my money, obviously. But like once you start living like suffering living, like when I got the when I got the direct hire, I was like splurging my money. So so it was like average. I would say would be like for 1 month because it's not prorated for direct hire. It was like around a month is like 300,000 yen per month without the bonus. So with the bonus, the total yearly income would be around um, uh, 400 my yen, like four with six zeros.
So that's like, okay, so 4 million Japanese yen, which that's pretty amazing for an English teacher in Japan.
Yeah, that I felt really blessed during that time. Yeah.
Because you got bonuses like twice a year. Yeah, so I mean, that's how it works now. Like in my day job, where I do software engineering, and for most people who work at a Japanese company, you get a bonus twice a year, and it's usually equal to at least 1 month of salary. For some people, it's like 1.5 or two times a month of salary. But as a poor, underprivileged ALT, you get the opposite of that. Instead of getting a bonus during the holidays, you get like 75% or 50% pay. But sorry, I'm getting off topic. It's just a sob story from back in my ALT days.
Yeah, I wish but like, I'm thinking sometimes I feel guilty for earning that much because actually, if you listen to the other Japanese teachers, they get paid peanuts, apparently.
You think they get paid less than that?
Like, compared to the amount of work that we do,
Ah, yeah.
like, I think some teachers they told me that their hourly pay is around 800 yen because they're
Ooh,
still overwork. But then, even though the monthly is around like is enough for them to live, the the hourly pay is not good for them.
yeah. Definitely in terms of hourly, because Japanese people work overtime and it's like a cult, man. Like me and man, I should get one of my other buddies on here to interview sometime because we were talking about that a while back, like how every office and every company in Japan with the Japanese people, it's like a cult because these people will not go home. Like they're gonna work for free, basically.
Yeah, they would not go home, and also they have to smile through it. They
Yeah.
actually their smile. They've deluded themselves in thinking, oh, this is how life is supposed to be, and they would smile, and it looks very genuine. Their smile, and they acted this performance that it's becoming very natural to them actually.
Yeah, it is. It's very sad. Like, it was hitting me hard in the last English teaching job that I had. Like, when I knew I was getting out of that and I was gonna be like working fully remote or just like working for myself, it was depressing to think about these people that I was leaving behind because they're just gonna continue doing that for like 30 years, and I don't understand how people do it.
So I think with Japan, it's all about like they place a lot of emphasis on education, English education. But what I think there's a lack of basic financial education in the English system because partly I think that um, Japanese culture is all about being like humble and stuff. I think so. Money to them is very a very taboo topic. But
Yeah.
I think I think they really need some a little bit basics of financial education just to get them conscious about it, right?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's part of the culture though. Like I don't know how it is in Canada, but like in America, I grew up as a child and my parents teaching me like how to about money, like how to get my own money, like uh there's the traditional like lemonade stand, like kids make lemonade and sell it out in front of their house. If you're a boy, you go and do yard work. Like I was going around all through my neighborhood, knocking on people's doors, and this is stuff my dad taught me how to do, and raking leaves, cutting their grass, working for myself, and understanding like kind of like how to run your own little business. I was doing that it as early as like with my dad's assistance, like 6 7 years old, learning how to do those things. And I feel like that's non-existent in Japan. What about in Canada?
Like I guess we're not as strong as the older generation as well. So
Oh well, yeah. I mean, that was speaking from my generation. The kids nowadays in the U.S. I mean, dude, who knows what they're doing? I mean, it also depends on the location. Like I've seen videos where kids try to do a lemonade stand in the U.S. and then like the cops came and like gave them a ticket or something. So it also depends on like if you're in a liberal or more conservative area.
yeah. So So on the next topic, shall we?
Yeah, let's move on. Actually, we might want to kind of like cut some of this because
How long?
this
How
is
long have
gonna
we
be
doing?
this is gonna be a lot. We've been recording for 35 minutes already.
Uh huh.
Um,
Oh my god, I didn't think we talked this
yeah,
much. Right?
this is gonna be too long of a video. Let's just do. What do you want to do? Learning Japanese or like how we? I guess we kind of talked about how we came to Japan. Well, how about that?
Yeah.
How did you get your first job in Japan? How did you get over here?
Oh, like as a young person, like I'm just like blindlessly applying for jobs, and then this dispatch company um came and reached out to me. Yeah, I don't even know where it came from. Maybe like somewhere out there. I'm not sure. So this recruiter from NPO Glad, the dispatch company, just reached out to me. It's like I don't even remember applying for it. That's how many jobs I applied for.
But you were actively searching for jobs in Japan.
Yes, while I was in Canada.
Okay. And what made you want to do that?
Like I think many people in Japan, like when they want to go to Japan, it's almost always about like what anime and all this fantastical stuff. So that was how I wanted to come to Japan, and how I learned Japanese when I was young. I'm not sure about you, but um, I think people can see from my other videos like how to pass the JLPT, which is the most like the most famous infamous tests in Japan, and that supposedly measures Japanese language proficiency. So I passed the hardest level. It's something to be proud of. Well, not really because my speaking is also quite bad. Well, you passed it as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. I've got them all up on the wall.
Oh yeah.
After we're done filming here, I'll do a little close up of my certificates.
Oh yeah. It was a painful test, but I'm glad I finished it. So I studied Japanese when I was young, like when I was 10 years old. There was like there's also from my hometown. There's like many Japanese people too. So I grew up learning Japanese. So and I always wanted the opportunity to come here to build my a life here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't start studying Japanese until I was in college. But I think I don't think it's normal for people to be studying Japanese at such a young age. I like most people that I met, they either started in high school or started in college or like after college, or some people don't even start until like 2 months before they're getting ready to move over
Oh
here.
yeah. So I guess when I was young, I was more like individualistic, maybe like more into my own world. So, just because someone is doing something, some group is doing something, like it doesn't mean that I will do the same thing as well, right?
Yeah. I wish I would have had that kind of influence because, I mean, of course, like I was collecting Pokemon cards and playing the games and watching anime when I was a kid. And I loved collecting the Japanese Pokemon cards. I would get the Japanese versions of all the cards, and I just thought the writing looked so cool. And I would have loved to learn how to actually like read it or speak Japanese, but there's just no. I mean, I was in Texas like back then. Like there was no like there's nobody around me that was learning any foreign language other than like Spanish. Um, and I mean, honestly, like I mean, looking at the Japanese Pokemon cards and seeing all that Japanese lettering, it looks the same as like ancient hieroglyphics in Egypt, you know, like it seems something like so far out of reach, like something that's not possible to do. But if I would have been in the environment where I saw other people doing it, I definitely would have done it, and I would have been studying Japanese back when I was like 10 years old for sure.
But I'm actually quite pleased with your progress. Like you were able to pass the highest level, like in a short amount of time. Would you think?
Yeah, like I had to work really hard for that. Hello.
Oh, hello.
We're recording a video.
Oh, long time no see.
what's-
That's really this. Yeah.
We,
Who is that?
what? That's my wife.
Yes. Okay.
Where were we at? We're talking about Japanese language, and I guess I didn't talk about how I moved to Japan.
Yeah, I want to hear the story of how you moved to Japan.
Yeah, so I didn't start studying Japanese until I was in college, and that's when I started seriously thinking about. Actually, when I first started studying Japanese, I wasn't thinking about moving here at all. I thought it would be cool to visit, but then at the local Japan festival in Houston that they have every year, that I was going to before I started studying the language. But then after I started studying the language, I noticed a booth for the JET program. And they were talking about these English teaching jobs in Japan. And I'd actually dropped out of college at that point, but it motivated me to go back to school and finish my degree just for the purpose of moving to Japan. Because in order to get an English teaching job over here, you probably know you have to have a 4 year degree in anything. It doesn't matter what it is. So I was like, all right, I'll go back and finish the degree and move over here. And that's what I did. And so yeah, I was probably like you, applying to a bunch of different jobs in Japan, all English teaching jobs, and I got the one from Interact. I had actually, the way I found out about Interact is I was just browsing the internet one night, late at night, back in Texas, and I saw an advertisement from them where it was like, "Come teach in Japan." So I did their whole interview process from Texas, got the job offer and everything, and moved to Aomori, Japan. That's where the job was.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how was your students like? How was your students like when you were teaching?
Well, I moved around a bit. So, yeah, I spent that first year in Aomori, then I went to Hyogo, and then eventually moved here to Wakayama. But the dynamics of the classrooms were very different between like Aomori and Hyogo over in the Kansai area. Hyogo is kind of near like Kobe, Osaka, Kyoto type of area. But yeah, the whole dynamics of also like the teachers as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
my first year in Japan up in Aomori was kind of lonely. Like I didn't really make any Japanese friends and I felt kind of like an outsider. The schools didn't involve me in any events or extracurricular activities. It was kind of just like come in, teach your English classes, and then get out. I mean, there was one guy there. There was one guy. I was at four different schools, and there was one guy at one of the schools that did take me out a couple of times to some events. But when I moved to the Kansai area, everyone was so welcoming and like exchanging line contacts with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like up in well, that's actually not allowed. Like under the contract as an ALT, it says you cannot exchange direct contact information with any of the teachers. So up in Aomori, they were all following the rules. But when I came to the Kansai area, the teachers were inviting me to their house. Parents of the students were like inviting me to their house and have like cooking dinner for me. And then I'd like teach their kids an English lesson in exchange for a nice dinner. Like I just felt like a real part of the community when I was in Hyogo. It was an amazing experience.
Wow.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
I'm dying to actually share of my life as at my schools. Like, I'm not sure if I told you this, but I think um, actually you saw my YouTube channel. It has around like 2,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Actually, I I could tell you half of those subscribers are actually from the students that I taught in the last year.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, they actually one day I was like teaching class, and then one of the students was like, "ねねねね, YouTube やってるね." I was like, um, I of course I lied. It's like, no, and these kids actually have iPads. Many of them have iPads.
Wait,
Actually, it's mandatory for them to have iPads, and so I couldn't lie because they actually showed me uh, show me the profile of the YouTube video of my YouTube page,
yeah.
and so that and so in schools like things rumors gossip spread extremely fast,
Yeah.
and so everyone know
Of
about my YouTube
course.
channel,
Yeah,
and
the whole
many
town.
many I bet many of us gonna watch this video once it's uploaded. So it was like, yeah, like you said, the dynamics are really, really wild. Like, some at my first schools, the teachers were very disciplined and very strict. They would make the students cry.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but for this school, like the last school I had, it was like, um, I, I might get in trouble for saying this. But it might be a little bit undisciplined. Like, so the teachers are not disciplining. So I'm thinking if the teacher's not disciplining, so maybe I'll just play along with it.
Yeah.
So, so let me just tell you some of the stories. Like,
Okay, yeah, let's hear it.
so, so it was pretty wild. Like the first day I went to class, it was like, and then the one of the boys, they're like really like wild. It's like, they pointed to my crotch. I was like, they were pointing to my crotch. It's like small penis, and
Wait, how old are these kids?
15 years
it's
old,
high school?
junior high school.
Junior high school? Okay, okay.
And I'm like, oh my goodness, these because like one thing maybe you don't know about me is that I do consider myself like partly Christian, and I do have a habit of going to church.
Yeah, yeah, I've
Church,
seen
like,
that in some of your videos.
yeah, and I was like, this kid needs some Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was that, and then there was this one day, like during my first week of class, like I was like walking back to the station, and then this boy, um, he was like, I met him, I bumped into this boy, like, um, I knew that he was a student at my school. Actually, he was like, he asked me a question. It's like, uh, do you know what he asked me? It's like, do you love me?
It is like a 15-year-old boy.
15-year-old boy. And I was like, what is wrong with this? What is wrong with this kid?
I think I didn't teach at high schools. I taught at elementary schools, but I think it's just like once they start to being able to use English, they just want to say crazy things and just use their English.
Yeah, like, and then he next few days he started invited me to like the rug. He was part of the rugby club, and then like he started like inviting me to rugby and then making me feel welcome
Yeah.
at school. And then I realized that I never even had a first lesson with this boy. And then I felt like at first I was like, what is wrong with this kid? And then the next minute is like, oh my god, this boy is like he's got more guts than a lot of the students that I taught before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then sometimes like they overdid it. They overdo it with the English, like using English. So let me tell you another story. So
Okay.
I was like, we're doing group work in the school, and then him and three other boys, like the Google iPad has like a translator like app
Yeah.
program, and then they would type something. They would type in something, and then translate. And then they typed in okay, and then I heard from the AI sound like, do you jerk off to porn every day?
Oh my god. No, dude.
And then I was like, I screamed, "Oh my god!" It was like very like anime school, like, "Oh my god!" And then the whole school, the whole floor heard my "Oh my god," and then like I had like the first ever apology session.
Apology? Who, like, the kids apologized to you?
Yeah, the three boys, him, the rugby star, and then the two other of his friends apologized to me.
Wow. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that much because I can't think of like a concrete example, but I definitely had some crazy things being said to me, even in the elementary school, but especially from like fifth and sixth grade boys, like once they're able to start being able to use some more English. So can't say it doesn't surprise me.
But like after a while, like I did have like it's I would say it's a good with this boy in particular. He had like some troubles at home, I think, and so I felt like a good teacher and student connection, and then
Yeah.
and I do pray like I think he also subscribed to my channel, so I'm not sure how much he understands is, and so I do hope that he will have a good life like afterwards. Like he's in all boys like sports like a high school, so I really hope that he told me that he wants to be like a football star, and I do sincerely hope the best for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I always like to give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, he might not have had any ill intentions. They might have just been them messing around, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, that's funny. You know, we could make another video later just talking about some of these crazy experiences that we've had in the school system
Oh yeah,
here.
definitely.
But I think for today, it's about time for us to eat lunch.
Eat lunch and
And then after
yeah.
that, we're gonna go to this meat festival
Oh
here
yeah.
in Wakayama. So we'll probably both be uploading, you know, videos with footage from that later. So you can stick around
Yep.
and see that.
Yeah, so check out more about Zach's videos and also check my videos. So my name is Root Gaijin, so check out my videos as well.
And I'm Zach in Japan. Also run my, I don't know if you can see this, Web Dev Japan. I've got 2 YouTube channels. So yeah, Web Dev Japan, Zach in Japan, and
Root Gaijin.
all right. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you in the next
Yeah,
one.
see you.